Have you ever found yourself watching, heart in hand, as your lovely kitties turn away from their food day after day? You know, a cat should not go without food for longer than 24 hours. Preferably, cats should eat within 12 hours from their last meal, and they should ingest enough calories in the day to avoid the risk of hepatic lipidosis. And when your cats lose their appetite, it is a moment that strikes fear in the heart of every caring cat parent. A moment when you feel utterly powerless. But what if I told you that there is a way to turn things around, a method often misunderstood but incredibly powerful? Let's discuss. Hello, lovely cat parents. If we haven't met yet, my name is Paola Zanibelli Davis, feline holistic care and behavior specialist, helping you and your cats live extraordinary lives together by unlocking the secrets of natural remedies and positive training, because not having alternative options should not be an option. If you are watching this on YouTube, I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel so that I can help more cat parents and their kitties. My goal this year is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and maybe if you feel aligned with my content, you can help me to get there. Now, let's get into today's topic. Today, we're tackling a subject that is really close to my heart, and it's crucial for every cat guardian to understand. We are going beyond the basics of cat care into a practice that is part of the hands-on cat parenting that I often refer to. We are talking about a practice where love, science, and a little bit of courage can literally save lives. Now, if you are watching this video, chances are that you are facing a situation where your cat has either stopped eating, shown decreased appetite, or been more picky than usual to the point of worrying you. Your cat might be losing weight because of this, or feeling weaker, more lethargic, and maybe even vomiting white foam from time to time, leaving you even more worried. It is important to underline that lack of appetite can be the symptom of a deeper medical issue lying underneath. So the first thing you want to do is to get your cat checked by the vet, get a full blood organ function panel, and possibly with a few more parameters depending on your particular cat's individual makeup, age, past history, and so on. And after you get a checkup at the vet and the test, you need to explore the possible medical reasons why your cats do not want to eat as they normally do. You will gain important information on what might be going on, because cats showing a change in appetite usually do so due to a medical issue. This way you can start addressing what the real underlying cause is and follow either a traditional approach, a holistic approach, or a combination of both to address the issue. However, it can take time for your cats to feel better, to the point of getting back to their normal eating habits. And in this case, it is crucial to provide these kitties with adequate nutritional support. If you have found yourself in this situation, you likely provided a buffet of options, hoping that your cats would choose at least one and eat something. Maybe you used a few tricks to make their food more appealing, like warming it up to mouse temperature or using a tasty topper. If this has worked for you, great. Sometimes, however, this is not enough, and you find yourself worrying, feeling helpless, and simply desperate for your cats to just eat something. Cats who do not eat enough calories can make their situation much worse pretty quickly, as losing weight and muscle mass can be a problem in itself. Plus, not eating can make them feel nauseous, generally unwell, and even cause fatty liver disease, which can be a serious life-threatening complication you will have to address with hospitalization as a minimum. This is when syringe feeding comes into place to save your cat's life and to give you an incredible feeling of relief and peace of mind. When you look up videos on syringe feeding, you'll mostly find demonstrations with calm and usually very cooperative cats. There's nothing wrong with these videos. In fact, they can give you examples of how different people carry out this practice, but they make the task appear straightforward, maybe even really easy, while leaving questions unanswered. It doesn't have to be difficult. When you're looking for syringe feeding as a cat parent, you probably want to know how safe it is, how you prepare your blend, or what you can do if you encounter issues like vomiting, how long you keep it going for, or how you can avoid choking your cats. And if you are here watching this, chances are your situation is far from simple. If you are contemplating syringe feeding, you might be feeling uncertain, worried about stressing your cats, and maybe damaging your bond. It's not just about learning the mechanics, it's about needing encouragement and understanding that the deeper reasons and variations behind this approach are what moves everything and how fast it can profoundly impact your cat's recovery and well-being. That's exactly why I made this video. I am here to offer not just guidance, but also support and insight into why this practice is so crucial and how it can strengthen the bond within your fur babies, even in the toughest of times. Also, I am here to provide a different perspective to syringe feeding. Many cat parents look at this practice as a last resort, a sign that they are near the end, or even a procedure that their cats will not accept and that needs professional training. Nothing could be further from the truth, and I want to encourage you to try to not give up and to give your cats a chance to get better by providing them with nutritional support, even when they do not feel like eating on their own. A common misconception is the belief that syringe feeding could upset your cats, damaging the sacred bond that you share with them. It is a belief rooted in a misunderstanding, a fear of doing more harm than good, perhaps, and the belief that cats are independent creatures who know what they want and have the last word on what they accept or refuse. Now, I'm not saying here that you have to completely force your cats to be fed via a syringe while they are kicking and screaming. What I am saying is that there are ways you can teach your cats to cooperate with you so that cat care, including syringe feeding, becomes non-stressful both for you and your cats. And when you're facing a situation where you need your cats to ingest food to avoid bigger risks to their health, there is value in standing your ground in your caretaking role and making this happen even when your cats initially think otherwise and you feel scared that it won't work. Think of it this way: if you had to help a small child get an injection, for example, which you know is absolutely necessary to bring back health, you will find a way to make it happen while sweetening that experience as much as possible to avoid creating trauma, but you probably would still get it done. Well, it's exactly the same thing here. Practice makes perfect, and you can even accelerate your progress by getting the right guidance and following a step-by-step process that makes succeeding easier, faster, and simpler. If you want help to provide your cats with nutritional support and get them used to accepting syringe feeding as a normal part of their cat care, particularly during illness, so that they stop losing weight, they start feeling better, and they can move into their recovery phase faster. This is one of the things that we do inside my Holistic Cat Care Jumpstart program. Inside my program, I teach you everything that you need to know about syringe feeding, which food you should choose, which blends give you the best results, what equipment will assist you in the best possible way, which technique you can use depending on your cat's personality, and even how to supercharge the food that you give to accelerate healing. I teach you how to integrate this practice into your daily routine and how to calculate how much food you should give your cats depending on the stage you are finding yourself in. Let me explain. When you face health issues with your cats and follow a health promoting protocol, you normally go through 5 phases. The first one is the emergency and troubleshooting phase. The second one is the planning and adjusting phase. The third phase is the maintenance phase. The fourth one is the recovery phase, and the fifth phase is the cruising and monitoring phase. Depending on the phase that you are facing, you need nutritional support that changes accordingly. And in the Jumpstart, I offer support to take away the burden of not knowing what to do to nourish your cats in these situations, how to do it gently, effectively, and successfully, how much food you should give, and how many times a day, for how long, etc., so that more cats can be helped bridging times of illness with times of wellness. You can check out all the details about the Holistic Cat Care Jumpstarts in the description below. And in the meantime, let me share my personal journey, one that might change how you view syringe feeding. In my own life, syringe feeding has been literally a beacon of hope during times of sickness and lack of appetite in my cats. It was not just a necessity at some points, but a turning point that brought us closer. From reluctant compliance to easy acceptance, the transformation in my cats was nothing short of miraculous. More than once, this practice has been literally a lifesaver. literally a lifesaver. In the same way, many of my clients have found a way forward through syringe feeding. Rebecca, for example, contacted me completely unsure of how she would be able to stop her cat, Francie, from losing weight. Francie was already a small cat and she had been refusing to eat for a few days due to a bout of pancreatitis. Rebecca had a huge block about using syringe feeding to help her cat because she was fearful that she would upset her, and also she was discouraged because after trying to feed Francie this way once, Francie coughed and then vomited, so they both ended up a little bit traumatized. I helped Rebecca see that this practice didn't mean necessarily imposing her will or hurting her kitty, but it was really throwing her a lifeline. Once she started to see this action as something done in a partnership where her cat trust in her became her willingness to accept help, and once she had a few tips on how to make this experience much better, she started to feel relieved because Francie was receiving daily nourishment and slowly moving towards recovery because of this. Plus, Rebecca felt massively empowered because now she was doing something to change the grim course of events that she saw in front of her when Francie stopped eating and would not eat again. In hands-on cat care, where we are here to soothe and support our feline family, we are here to guide them back to health with every gentle, loving interaction, even when it means teaching them to accept new ways of handling and support. If you're going at this on your own, remember that patience, empathy, and resilience are your best tools. If you are facing this challenge right now, know that you are not alone. And please tell me in the comments below, are you navigating a health challenge right now with your cats? And if you are considering syringe feeding, what is holding you back? Now, you can totally go at this on your own. On the other side, if you want guidance on how to succeed with syringe feeding, the Holistic Cat Care Jumpstart is your next step. It's packed with resources from how-to guides to a supportive community to all the trackers that you might need to monitor how your cats do moving forward, and so much more. It is designed to empower you in these critical moments, and not just with nutritional support, but with so many other cat care practices. If you are not at the stage of syringe feeding just yet, and what you're looking for is training on ways to make food more appealing and improve what you feed your cats no matter where you are, you can join me in the Meowster Chef Academy. This is a ridiculously affordable sprint that I have created to help you navigate choosing better food for your cats and getting them to eat it. Again, you can find the link to this sprint down below in the description. Remember that syringe feeding does not have to be a last resort practice. It is a testament to the lengths we go to for our feline family. It is about facing our fears, armed with knowledge and compassion, and emerging stronger on the other side. Because in the end, every act of care, no matter how small, is a giant leap towards a future filled with purrs, headbutts, and grateful glances. On this note, I will see you next time, and until then, love your cats as much as you can.